She wanted to be petted, and I didn't understand that. I thought she wanted lunch.
We're taking you back in time right now to the 1950s. That's an early star of King TV, live with a mountain lion for a children's program called Wanda Wanda. It's some of the remarkable footage that we've uncovered as we celebrate our 75th anniversary here at King 5.
We need more mountain lions on the set, I think,
Live
these
ones,
days.
yeah.
Live mountain lions. All month, we are sharing the stories from our rich King 5 history in the early days. If you were watching TV in Western Washington, it had to be King. In fact, when King was born, the FCC issued a temporary freeze on TV licenses, making us the only game in town. This morning, we want to give you a look back at our archives to show you how it all started. We thought you should know. A story of humble beginnings, where it all began at one of the first TV stations in the country. Deep in the King 5 archives, you're surrounded by all the history, from now to then. Some of it stored longer than others. But this is where it all started, in 1948, with a bold experiment to transition from radio to moving pictures in broadcast form.
One thing, it never is dull.
King TV was the first television station north of Los Angeles and west of the Twin Cities to bring live video to the masses. Daughter of an early lumber and real estate magnate, Dorothy Bullitt first had the idea and a relentless passion. Her heart and soul was dedicated to public service and education. So when Seattle families started buying 7-inch TV sets, Dorothy's vision was what they got.
I don't think people realized how good we had it at the time because of her commitment to that community service part of broadcasting.
Seattle historian Felix Spinell.
Mrs. Bullitt is this sort of mythical figure in Seattle, but at the heart, she's just this woman who saw broadcasting as a really cool way to serve the community, saw that long before other people did.
While Dorothy was the visionary, her program director, Lee Schulman, brought that vision to life. He coordinated teams of engineers to capture live moments with new heavy TV cameras. Soon, those golden call letters became iconic.
K-I-N-G.
At first, King only broadcast 5 hours a day, and filling time was difficult.
So the cheapest and smartest thing was to put talented people, local people, in front of the camera. And the best example of that is Stan Borson.
UW student Stan Borson, along with piano player Art Bardoon, played a regular 15-minute show called Two Bees at the Keys. And in keeping with Dorothy's love of education, a show called Wanda Wanda was born, starring Ruth Prince.
She would tell stories and had all these magical characters with puppets. It's decades before Sesame Street.
In the 1950s, a new, larger studio was a perfect space for a new cooking show called King's Queen, hosted by Bea Donovan.
Good afternoon, everyone.
And a new hour-long weekly show was formed called March On. It became a popular way to showcase musicians at Fort Lewis.
TV had the opportunity, beginning in the 1950s and 60s, to actually glue the community together. And when it worked really well, that's exactly what King did. And I think King did that more than anybody else.
Now, let's see how they go through that.
And long before there was NFL football to draw in the live sports-loving masses, there was hydro racing. Covering live sports was an entirely new challenge in 1951. And when it's live, that means anything can happen, including a fatal crash. Sports reporter Bill O'Mara was on the call at the time.
So I went to my knees and said the prayer.
At its core, broadcasting is a human relationship, one-to-many kind of thing. That's so critical, and I think King set the standard for that.
Through the years, King programming has been at the heart of what we do. And in a city where billion-dollar mergers and tech startups dominate the communication industry today, it's important to remember where it all began, with humble beginnings and a vision to connect us all on air. And we just mentioned King's Queen with Bea Donovan. A viewer actually saw what we were talking about on air and sent us this recipe. Mimi, this is one of her recipes on air from 1972. The second there are her Hello Dolly cookies. So thanks to Karen for sending that in. We love it when you at home share some of your memorabilia as well.
That is incredible that viewer still had that recipe. Wow. We'll test the recipe soon, I think.
Let's try it.
Right, let's try it, yeah.
I'll make those.
We've got more coverage all month long coming up tomorrow, from the original documentaries on King 5 to our modern day investigators unit. We look at the journalists who told important stories that changed laws. And you can see all of our stories on Thanksgiving Day. Our 1-hour 75th anniversary special airs at 9:30 on November 23rd, right here on King 5.